holding graphene in your hand. Okay, that is what it is. Graphene is nothing more than graphite. Graphite's been around for a long time. We've been writing with pencils for who knows how long. But it took some physicists at University of Manchester in the United Kingdom to take graphite, and they did what's called exfoliation, where they peeled different atom layers of graphite and got down to one single carbon layer and determined that that material was the strongest material in the world. Now, so you can imagine with that information why someone would honor them with the Nobel Prize. Because they are going to help this world again change it. Now, something that she said that was very interesting. She talked about her training. She talked about the global effect. America is so far behind in graphene knowledge, graphene usage, so far behind. That's why they had that summit in Washington, D.C. They feel so guilty that other countries have gotten ahead of them because other countries are willing to do what it takes to make lives better. In America, we have a tendency to do what makes people richer. And that is the problem. Everything Nicole said, okay, about the things that the pills we take, things we do. And she said something that Deepak Chopra said in his first book. We all have a pharmacy within our body.
Yes.
We are our own pharmacy. We are our own clinician.
Yes.
You just have to be in tune.
Right.
You have to believe.
Yes.
That's it. You have to believe. Okay, we can help. Every one of you are going to be clinicians. Why? Because you are going to provide a health benefit for someone you know. So just congratulate yourself. All clinicians. I have to admit, I'm used to just talking, so I made this PowerPoint thing. I don't get mad. Okay, so graphene is nothing more than carbon atoms. You remember chemistry, you remember the periodic table. Okay, this is a carbon atom. What's carbon? Coal, okay, diamonds, it's all carbon. But the graphene is in a special sort of, what do they call it, a matrix. It's hexagonal. Now, I don't want to get too technical, but the bottom line is, when it is in that arrangement, it has this ultimate strength. It is very flexible, it is transparent, it can do so many things. Now, so I can get this thing. Okay, so I'm going to go through the slides that are important as far as getting to it. You see, okay, so it says here about increases the absorption capabilities. Let's just talk a second about how that's going to work with our napkins. Because what I want to do today is when you go around and you tell people about the Jewel Premium Sanitary Napkins with graphene, a lot of people are not going to necessarily know what you're talking about, which is to your advantage. Because you are going to be able to talk about graphene. Several people have asked me, both last night and today, how do I go up to medical people and talk about this? And I say to them, medical people are the most difficult people to talk to. Because they think they know everything. Okay? They do. I don't know if it's just been ingrained in them from elementary school, that they're smart and therefore they should become doctors. They think they know it all. So when you go up to them, you're non-medical, and you're trying to talk to a doctor or a nurse about the sanitary napkins, what they're going to hear, sanitary napkins, and they're going to immediately turn off in their mind wanting to talk to you. But what you're going to say is graphene sanitary napkins. Let me tell you how that's going to work to your advantage. First of all, 98% of the people that you're going to talk to have never even heard the word graphene. So the doctors, the nurses, all the medical people, they're going to say, okay, I haven't heard graphene before, so I will let him or her continue talking. Okay, so because they want to know. Again, remember I said, doctors feel they know everything. You've now thrown a word out to them that they've never even heard. So they're going to want to know, what is this graphene? And you don't have to try to be very scientific. You can just simply say, it's the strongest material, the most flexible, it's a game changer. I can go on and on and on. However, you can tell them, just Google it. Just Google it. Tell them, just Google graphene. But you can say, but while you're Googling graphene, I want you to know that I'm part of an organization that has a mission to change the world that we currently live in for our women. Because we have a product that the United States and you doctor and you nurse know nothing about, but the world will know, and you will then be behind. So take it from me, let me explain to you how our sanitary napkin is going to help those that you are taking care of, including your family members. And that's all you have to do. Because they're going to, when they hear the word graphene, they're going to say, okay, let me listen a little more. Okay, so you're going to talk about some of the properties. You're going to talk about how it's bactericidal. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. You heard me talk before about that normally there's bacteria in the vagina, okay, and I talked about the pH, about the vagina being a certain pH, and some of that is based upon the bacteria that's there. And when a woman has a menstrual cycle, when the blood comes out, obviously some of that's going to be containing bacteria. That bacteria, what does it do? It's sitting on that commercial pad that's out now, rubbing up against her vulva. What does that do? Irritation, redness, itching, discomfort, embarrassment, all of those things, every single month. What graphene will do, it is bactericidal. It actually cleaves the cell wall of bacteria. Okay, now let me take it a step further to show you how important this is. They have taken just a simple glass of water and they put E. coli. Those of you who don't know, E. coli is a bacteria that's commonly seen usually with urinary tract infections, E. coli. But it can be a very horrible bacteria to have. They took a glass of water, had E. coli in it, and then they added graphene to that glass of water. Immediately, the E. coli went right to the top. It separated, it basically cleaved the cell wall of that bacteria, which sent the bacteria right to the top of that glass, which means all they had to do was just sweep away that E. coli, and that water was fine. How is that going to help? Okay, people, there are countries, there are people who cannot drink the water that's at the end of the street they live on, in this world. What graphene is going to do is to be able to go to those places and take that water and remove that bacteria from that water. That is a game changer.
Yes.
At the conference, someone made the joke about the Sahara being green one day. Okay, they were talking about the fact that not only about the bacteria, desalination, they now know they can have graphene membranes that can remove the salt from the water. So imagine places like in the Caribbean who rely a lot on the rainwater. They rely on that now there will be membranes that can pull the ocean water in and get rid of the saline to allow them to have water.
Wow.
This graphene is unreal.
Wow.
Unreal. Next. Thermal conductor. Okay. I spoke to 3 or 4 people about this, and I told them, look, you don't have to believe me, just Google it. Bill and Melinda Gates donated a significant amount of money to the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom to develop graphene condoms.
Wow.
Graphene condoms. Okay? Now, when I was at the summit, I asked somebody, I said, Bill and Melinda Gates are here in America. You know, why? Here's what they say. America doesn't know anything about graphene. America knows nothing about graphene. That's why the summit's here, to try to educate the Americans about graphene. You guys know more about graphene than most of the Americans in this country. You have a product that no one in North America will have. I mean, you got to understand. You may not understand the magnitude today, June 1st, but when you start hearing about graphene, this, graphene, that, and they'll be saying, oh, we had graphene in our Sanitary Napkins back in 2019. You guys, I mean, people will be coming up to you, asking you other questions about the graphene. But Bill and Melinda Gates have been big advocates about infection, sexually transmitted diseases, and I guess they said, look, University of Manchester, they know about graphene. We have the money, that's where we're taking our money. So graphene condoms is because of the thermal, okay? It's going to be the thinnest, strongest bactericidal condom, okay, ever. So that's another aspect of its thermal capabilities. Tissue repair. Now this also blew my mind. In South Korea, what they did, an experiment, they took some rats and they basically severed the spinal cord, okay, in these rats, okay, so they were paralyzed. They then took graphene oxide, okay, and put it right where the nerves used to be. In 2 weeks, those rats were up, walking around. Now, I know some of this almost sounds natural. I mean, it really does. When we heard the things that they're doing with graphene, it blew our mind. So imagine how that's the impact of that, okay, in neurology, in neurosurgery. Remember people in car accidents, okay, where their spinal cord has been severed, they paralyzed the rest of their life. Now there'll be a way to use graphene because graphene allows the neurons, the nerve cells, to migrate rapidly. So the neurons migrate, reconnect, and the paralysis is gone. That's how powerful this particular material is. Again, let's talk about the sanitary napkin. Okay, in addition to its ability to cleave any bacteria, because it is an absorptive material, it will pull that fluid away from the woman into the core so that the pad is dry. Now, not just the pad being dry, because we know pads being dry, we know that, okay? But in addition, because it can pull that fluid away, it will make her feel so much more comfortable because graphene has its effects as far as soothing, okay, because it does have thermal capabilities. Remember, maybe you may have heard me say before about what does heat do? It causes vasodilatation. What does vasodilatation? That means opening up the blood vessels. What does that do? That means it sends more blood to the tissues. What is carried in blood? Oxygen. What is the best thing to cause something to heal? Oxygen. So now you're going to have the graphene establishing the warmth to open those blood vessels to provide that oxygen that's going to increase the healing aspect of the woman. And that is important. Now, There are some areas that they're still doing research. They're doing research, but it's important for me to talk about it because it has a direct impact. When Nicole was talking about the HPV and infections like that, okay, we know with graphene, they're using it as a biosensor. They're also using graphene to actually have the ability, to go into the bloodstream and identify the cancer cells. What did Nicole say? A cancer cell is nothing more than a normal cell that is going awry. That's all. It's going awry. And that's why sometimes it's so difficult. Because when you give those chemotherapeutic agents to kill the cancer, they're not that smart. They kill all the
Everything.
Okay? They kill all the cells. That's why a lot of people will say, you know, when I'm diagnosed with cancer, I'll just take my remaining days and live it the way I want, as opposed to torturing myself for the remaining days and making the pharmaceutical industry rich. So what graphene will do is be able to identify cancer cells in the bloodstream. And then, once they can do that, the next plan is to then be able to treat, to actually use the graphene to go in and destroy the DNA of those cancer cells.
All right.
And once you destroy the DNA of those cancer cells, then you will destroy
The
that
cancer. Yes.
Another thing they're using it for is regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine, you've heard about where they're basically trying to do 3D printing to help create organs that can be used so that we don't have the problems of the dialysis, that maybe we could one day have a kidney. Well, because graphene is so strong and so flexible, and all the other things that I mentioned, they're using it now with all aspects of regenerative medicine, even when it comes to prosthesis. Because those prosthesis, that's just a machine, that's just a device, okay, that's gonna last, it's like your car for X period of time. Well, now that they know graphene can make things last almost forever, okay? Now, when someone has any of those things happen to them and have to have it replaced or repaired using graphene, that's gonna be a world changer. Let me just, I don't want to get hung up on that too much.
That's a play. That's a play.
Well, I can talk about it. Okay, so with respect to this, I'm going to really cone it down to how we talk about graphene sanitary napkins. I already said, when you speak to someone, make sure you say graphene. Okay, and they're going to ask you, what is graphene? Graphene is graphite. Everybody knows graphite. This is what anybody knows what's graphite. Some people might. Nothing wrong with that. You say a pencil. That lead pencil, that's graphite. Wow. Okay, so now they can relate to that. And then you say, and graphene is nothing more than taking the graphite down to its lowest level. And when they did that, they created this very, very powerful material. Okay, so therefore, now they know you know what you're talking about. At least you know where the graphene came from. So any of those people who want to be doubting Thomases, we've at least got them past that. And trust me, they're going to run to Google, okay, and see for themselves. And then they're going to say, wow, that person who they were talking about.
Yeah,
then they'll call you back. Because now they've looked and saw about graphene, they're going to call you back and say, okay, because they weren't listening when you mentioned graphene sanitary napkins. So once you said sanitary napkins, that was it. But now that they've read, they did their own research, okay, and saw what graphene can do, now they're going to come back to you and say, now what were you saying about these sanitary napkins with graphene? Okay, they're going to say, well, why did they put graphene? And then you're going to say, to improve the sanitary napkin, to make it therapeutic for our women. That's all you have to say, to make it therapeutic. And they want to know, well, what do you mean by making it therapeutic? Well, it's going to increase oxygenation. It's going to increase oxygen going to the tissues. It's going to get rid of bacteria that has come out during the menses. In addition to, it's going to pull the fluid away and cause them to be dry. And let me, as a gynecologist of 40 years. And I say this all the time. And I'm so happy to see so many men here. We have no idea what a woman goes through every night. Now, we know about those 5, 6, 7 days of bleeding, okay? But what we don't realize is even prior to that, when they know that on Monday they're going to start their period, you think they're happy on Saturday? Happy on Sunday? They're already anticipating how miserable their next week is going to be. Okay, it's like when I was growing up in New York, and my father said, "Don't eat in the car," and I did. And of course, he said, "I'm going to get a spanking when I got home." And I was hoping that it wasn't going to happen. I was hoping it was forget about it. Well, trust me, when I got home, I got the spanking. So it was something that was on my mind. So what we will be doing is improving the menstrual experience for that woman, so that now when she thinks about her cycle starting on Monday, she doesn't have to say to herself, all hell is going to break loose. Okay? It's going to be a physiologic event that I undergo because of the sex that I am. Okay, I'll get through those days. I'm not going to be as miserable as I used to be. And believe me, then her Saturday and her Sunday will be different than what her Saturday and Sunday will be now.
All right.
What she was saying, and I really appreciate what she was saying about affordability. Okay, now, the next thing I'm going to ask you all, because it's so special, is the graphene going to cost, well, no, the graphene sanitary napkins are not going to cost more than any other napkins. As a matter of fact, it will probably cost less because they won't have to use as many. When I hear people talk about, when I read about the dioxin, and I'm not going to get big into that because you guys have heard me talk about that before, and I read this, and I read one of the studies again last night in preparation for this, just to make sure I didn't miss something. And they talk about dioxin, okay, if we know it's a carcinogen, we know it is. There's no question about that. But they try to say that there's not enough dioxin to really cause a problem. That there's so much what they call background dioxin, the oxygen that we get from foods. Okay. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with saying dioxin comes from other things.
Yes.
But you haven't done a study to know how many pads a woman uses. So how can you make a blanket statement that dioxin does not have an effect on that woman when we know there's no question African American women who have fibroids who are bleeding definitely use more sanitary napkins than the average woman, which means she's being exposed to more of this insignificant dioxin than the average woman. And since you have never done a study to know if it's causing a problem, don't say anything.
Yes.
And it bothers me. As I've been doing, she said, research 15 years plus, and I've done a lot of studies. And it bothers me when I read these articles. There's one article, just one article, where this person did all this analysis, okay, but did they say anything? First of all, all they said was that they got these napkins, they also looked at diapers and tampons in San Francisco. So they did it in San Francisco. Okay, now, I don't know how many of you have been in San Francisco, but
Not very high.
Since the black American women, yes, it's very low.
Okay, it's not a whole lot.
No.
Okay, so therefore, you're telling me you're doing a study based on data from San Francisco, and we're supposed to look at that and make that a common aspect of America? No. And you haven't even mentioned, they didn't mention in the article, not one time, about women who have conditions that would cause them to bleed more, which would make them use more napkins.
Right.
They didn't talk about that. Why? Because then they couldn't defend it. They knew they wouldn't be able to, because someone would write in and say, well, okay, these numbers don't make sense to me. Okay, these numbers are from people in San Francisco You don't say anything about how many of them are African Americans, how many of them had fibroids. We have to, as been said by several of the speakers, we have to be empowered to understand that we are in control of our health.
Yes.
You cannot, even though I'm a physician, you cannot depend just on the physician.
That's right.
I
That's
love
right.
when a patient comes to my office with a list
Right.
of questions.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I love it. Okay, because I know when she leaves me, I will have addressed what was on her mind.
Yes.
Which is important. We have to understand no one is going to be understanding about you more than you.
That's right.
More
That's
than
right.
you know, they say success is when you add value to yourself. But significance is when you add value to someone else.
Yes.
We are going to be significant
Significance.
and successful. Tell me I got
You gotta wrap it up.
1 second, pull me off.
Okay.
But I kind of just forgot about my PowerPoint because I told someone earlier today I'm not going to do a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to follow a certain script, and I'd rather just talk to you.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better to do it this way. So again, graphene. And it's another thing. Now this is now we're getting not real technical, but to show you how much the industry is concerned about graphene. They're going to start grading graphene because everybody's trying to make it. Everybody. Okay, when I think about Sri Lanka, that small country,
Yeah.
an island off of India,
Yeah.
being the largest producer of graphene in the world.
That's gonna make a heck of a difference for them.
What I'm saying is, they said, okay, we're going to make sure that we grade it. So they're going to be grading the graphene. But graphene itself, it has the properties, all the properties that I mentioned. When you add too much graphene, when you get too many layers, because I was saying how they peel away the layers to get to the graphene, you can stack those graphene layers on top of each other, and that's what allows it to be used for these different things like the membranes. But when you get beyond a certain number of layers, it's now graphite again. Okay, this becomes graphite again. So graphene means 10 layers or less of carbon atoms. 10. Above 10 is graphite. I'm just throwing that out to you because again, another little pearl when someone says, well, what do you know about graphene? And you throw that out to them, they know a whole lot about graphene. And here's the thing, you can say you know a lot about graphene because you represent a company that's using graphene to improve the health care of women.
Yes.
So is that just the graphene? You gotta, all those other companies, when we went up there, all those companies were making products for what they thought was important. And I'm not denying, desalinization is fabulous. Okay, getting rid of bacteria for drinking water is fabulous. But those guys who were using it for the Callaway golf balls, the people in London who are making bulletproof vests with graphene, for the people who are putting it on bicycle tires that now are going to last 10 times as long, okay, and be much lighter. The luge that you see them use in the Winter Olympics, the UK came in 3rd place. They've never finished it better than 13th place. But they were using a luge made with graphene because it was lighter and stronger. Those things were okay. They were impressive. But this told me the expansive nature of graphene. But when Mr. Trump, when he stood in that Kennedy caucus room and stood up there and said to them about our company launching today, and he mentioned graphene sanitary napkins. Well, you heard what he said the other day about Senator Wicker. Okay, he didn't tell you the whole thing. Senator Wicker really just said to him, and I've heard everything. Okay, and what makes us so special is that we are everything.
Yes.
No one else is doing this. We are everything. We will make a difference. a major difference in the health care of women, not just here,
But,
as Mrs. Funk said yesterday, globally.
Globally.
And you heard what she said. Her country, in the countries that she has connections with. You guys are the nucleus of something fabulous.
Woo!
I mean, fabulous.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Yes.